Coastal, Central, Frances, del Norte, Via de la Plata, Primitivo. Wait, what is San Salvador? And what if I choose the wrong one and I ruin the entire Camino?
Sounds like you? Perfect! That means you care.
But we're going to end this confusion today because choosing the Camino route is not a travel decision, it's a personality choice.
The same Camino that feels like freedom to one pilgrim can feel like noise, stress, or disappointment to another.
So in this video we'll give you the 10 routes for this year, each of them with length, best months, who is it for, and the best landmarks, so you can pick confidently and start your Camino happily.
Camino Frances is the Camino most people are picturing in their head when they think the Camino.
If you walked it from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, you're looking at roughly 790 kilometers, 500 miles. But if you want a classic last stretch experience, people often start from Sarria for the final 100 plus into Santiago. The sweet spot for weather and mood is late spring or September, because summer can be hot and the trail can feel crowded. This route is for first-timers who want support, services, and that instant Camino social life without having to fight for it. And the landmarks that define it are places like Burgos, León, the symbolism of Cruz de Ferro, and the fairy tale arrival into Ocebreiro.
Just know this, it's popular for a reason, and it's popular in real life too.
If you want a first time friendly but with a different rhythm and with a different kind of beauty, the next Camino is for you. This is the route for the pilgrims who like the Camino to feel straightforward and well-fed. Good towns, good services, and a strong sense of forward momentum.
From Porto to Santiago, the central is around 240 to 243 kilometers, depending on how you track it and which small variants you take. The best moments are spring and early autumn because you get comfortable walking temperatures without the summer pressure cooker, neither the heavy rain. This one is for you if you want the Camino vibe, but you also like having options, cafe, beds, and a route that feels organized by history. Your headline landmarks are Porto at the start, the charm of Barcelos, the pilgrimage feeling in Ponte de Lima, and the crossing into Spain at Tui, and the glow-up of Galicia as you roll through places like Pontevedra.
And the one honest warning, it can be busy, especially as you approach the final 100 kilometer zones. So pick it for support and energy, not for solitude.
Don't you know which Camino to choose?
We prepared for you the Camino route quiz.
It takes 60 seconds and it will point you to the best route for your personality, your month, and your time available. Scan the QR code or tap the link in the description and get it straight to your inbox. And if you want a first Camino that calms your nervous system instead of stimulating it, the coastal from Porto is the route for people who want pilgrimage, but with salt in the air and a little space in the mind.
Depending on which coastal variant you take, it typically lands around 259 to 274 kilometers. Spring and early autumn are the best months because summer can be intense and the winter can be windy and wet. This is for you if you want boardwalks, coastal towns, and the feeling like the ocean is walking with you. The big signature places are Porto, Viana do Castelo, and the border energy of Caminha. And then the moment the route starts to feeding you into Galicia, and towards Redondela when the routes converge.
One practical note. Coastal variants are amazing, but they are also full of choices, so navigating matters more than on the Frances.
So if you knew and want a maximum ease, pick Frances or Central. If you want a gentle nervous system version, pick Coastal. If you want a Camino that fits into the normal vacation and still feels legitimate, the Camino Ingles from Ferrol is the cleanest answer.
It's about 119 kilometers and it's basically a concentrated Camino experience, quick, green, and surprisingly soulful. Spring and early autumn are ideal. This is for the time-poor pilgrim who wants the Santiago arrival without needing a month of work. Your landmark highlights are the medieval charm of Ponte Deume and Betanzos, and the rural rest of Bruma, and then the final pull into Santiago.
But the only catch is that it's less about these famous cathedrals along the way, but more of a quiet Galician character. So comment where you're from, what your starting month, and which Camino route you're considering. For example, Canada, August, and Camino Portuguese. We will reply to tell you if it's a good pick for you, or maybe we'll suggest a better match.
Now, if you want breathtaking scenery, Camino del Norte is for the pilgrim who wants the Camino to feel like a beautiful documentary with the occasional emotional breakdowns.
The good one.
The good way, no?
From Irún to Santiago it's about 820 kilometers and it's famous for coastline, green hills and the constant sense of movement through the different cultures in northern Spain. However, we recommend to start in France, in Bayonne. May and June and September are the safest bets because weather on the north coast can be dramatic and summer can be crowded. This is for you if you're okay with climbs and you want variety, beaches, cliffs and real hiking days. Your headline landmarks are places like San Sebastián, Bilbao, Santander, and then the Asturias to Galicia shift where the landscape starts changing again.
One practical warning. This Camino can be tougher on the legs than people expect.
But if you want wild, older and kind of more rugged Camino energy, Camino Primitivo is often called one of the toughest, but one of the most rewarding because it feels raw.
From Oviedo to Santiago it's around 311 to 321 kilometers depending on the resource on tracking. Late spring and the early autumn are the best because the weather matters more when you're in the mountains. This route is for the deep diver who wants fewer crowds, more nature and the sense of you've earning each day. The landmark that sticks are Oviedo as a start, dramatic landscapes around the Grandes de Salime reservoir and the hitting Lugo with Roman walls before you eventually join the more trafficking route closer to Santiago.
Achtung! It asks more of your knees and your pacing, so it's not an easy first time Camino, it's the memorable Camino for your legs and quads.
San Salvador is the mountain chapter you add when you want something short, intense and scenic. And it's also the connection between the Frances and the Primitivo.
Most sources put it at around 120 to 30 kilometers from León to Oviedo. Summer into early autumn is the safer window because mountain conditions can change fast outside the season. This is for you if you want a Camino that feels like an adventure film. Fewer people, more altitude, and the satisfaction of a hard day done well. The landmark moments are León as your launch, and the Cantabrian mountain crossing around Pajares, and arriving into Oviedo with that we did something real feeling.
Practical note. Treat it as a mountain route because it is.
But if you secretly want a space, like actual space, Via de la Plata is a long-haul Camino, like a Boeing 747 all the way to Melbourne. It's more than 1,000 kilometers and it's a different type of Camino because the space is actually the medicine.
The best time is early spring and the late autumn because the summer heat in the south can be intense. This is for you if you want endurance, quiet and the feeling that you're living a new life for weeks. The signature landmarks are Seville at the start, the Roman history around Merida, and the cities like Salamanca that feels like rewards for the miles.
The practical reality, it asks for more planning, because services can be spread out, but the payoff is huge if you want the Camino without the crowds.
Camino de Invierno is the route for pilgrims who love the idea of Camino de Santiago. Love. But not the idea of sharing it with everyone.
It's about 262 kilometers from Ponferrada to Santiago and it's known for following the Sil Valley and moving through landscape like Las Médulas territory and the quietest southern side of Galicia. It's great in spring and autumn when temperatures are comfortable. This is for you if you want a calmer, more reflective approach to Camino with a lot of hidden Spain energy. The landmarks are Ponferrada's Temple vibe at the start and dramatic scenery around Las Médulas, and the slow shift into Galician inland beauty.
Practical note. Because it's less traveled, you need to plan a little bit more. But the silence is the point.
You see, Finisterre and Muxia is what you walk when you finish Santiago and your body says, we're not done yet.
Santiago to Finisterre is about 90 kilometers and the Finisterre to Muxia it's 29 kilometers, which makes you perfect add-on for closure and horizon time. Spring and early autumn are the sweet spot because the coasts can be magical without being brutal. This route is for anyone who wants integration, less achievement, more meaning. The landmark moments are Negreira and the inland to coast transition, the lighthouse and Cap Finisterre, and then the spiritual punctuation mark of Muxia at the Santuario de Virgen de Barça.
And the one big Achtung is it can be emotional because it's designed to be.
And just to remind you that pilgrimage is bigger than Spain and Portugal, Shikoku in Japan is one of the most iconic pilgrimages on earth.
A loop of about 1,200 kilometers visiting 88 temples. Spring and autumn are the kindest seasons and this is for pilgrim who loves the ritual, patience and the feeling of being shaped slowly by repetition. It's not the Camino route, but it's absolutely a pilgrimage cousin. Same human impulse, different culture, different symbols.
So now let's do a quick quiz for Erica. Yes, you have 5 seconds for every answer.
Okay.
If you want the maximum support and instant community.
Camino Frances.
If you want a straightforward structure from Porto.
Camino Portuguese Central.
And if you want a first-timer friendly with ocean medicine.
Camino Portuguese and coastal.
And if you want a short vacation, real Camino style.
Bahamas.
No, Camino Ingles.
Okay.
If you want a coastline and the wow factor.
Camino del Norte.
If you want the mountains and the raw Camino spirit.
Camino Primitivo.
But if you want a short but still Camino mountains.
Camino San Salvador.
If you want a long haul solitude.
Via de la Plata.
And if you want a quiet Galician and a fewer crowds.
Camino de Invierno.
And if you finish the Camino de Santiago, you still want to walk more?
Finisterre and Muxia. Did I win? How much did I win? At this point, the route isn't the real question. The real question is, what do you need this year?
Do we need people or quiet? Do we need a gentle Camino or hard one that tells you the truth? Or do we need a clean ending in Santiago or the horizon past it? So choose the route that fits your season of life, not the route that impresses strangers. And if your Camino is coming soon, do not pack yet. Watch those videos here first, the man and the woman, and pack only what actually matters. And you know what? See you on the trail.
Buen camino!